Live from the Big G's Pizza Studio on Clark Street, this is 5 Songs with Friends, Chicago's music discovery podcast. Boot Gun is a rock and roll outfit from Denver, Colorado, and they have built a unique sound that serves not only as a backdrop for their zany lives, but as a soundtrack to the vibrant, ever-growing, robust city they live in. Hailing from Denver, Dallas, and Fort Lauderdale, the members of the band bring together sounds reminiscent of Heartland Rock, Nitty Gritty Blues, Southern Twang, and driving alternative rock. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the band with me. I have Keith, and then I forget. I'm so sorry. You guys told me your other names. I have the other bandmates there. Can you guys introduce yourselves real quick, please?
This is Davey, and this is Cody.
Awesome. And we got Keith, like I said, on the phone. So what's going on, guys? How are you feeling today?
We're doing great. It's 80 in Colorado, so we get to see the blue skies and interview with the outside.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I wish I was there with you guys. That sounds incredible. But tell me a little bit more about this. What is Boot Gun? Like, how did you guys get started?
It's like a gun in your boot is what a boot gun is.
Smart. Smart.
Like a hooker pistol where you hide it. It's small, easy to get to. Yeah, that's the imagery. That's the imagery. Yeah. But the sound is kind of everything that we were kind of brought up on, whether it's old blues or Elvis for my father growing up, and everybody got a little different backgrounds. But we also are influenced by modern day bands that we're friends with, and that's in the alternative rock scene right now.
Interesting. Well, can you kind of elaborate on that? Who are some of the kind of newer bands, I guess, that are influencing your sound today?
I mean, we're huge fans of Queens, the Stone Age, things like that. So we like the doomier, a little more like psychedelic rock vibes. We love the Black Angels from Austin, stuff like that. We also love the traditional songwriting of the Heartbreakers and Petty. Exactly, Petty, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones, the things that everyone grew up listening to because we got lucky to grow up in an era like that.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome stuff. So you guys are from all over the fucking place, it sounds like. How did you get connected and start making music together? And by the way, is it just the 3-piece? Is it just you 3, or is there other musicians that aren't on the call?
It's us 3 as the group. We are, we always, when we record, we're making an album. We're not playing it live, so it's going to sound different. We're going to fill it up, wall of sound style. But as a live group, it's just us 3, just burning and turning.
Awesome. And so how did all 3 of you meet, I guess, and start making music?
Yeah, so me and Keith worked at a bar together, and one day we decided to start making music together. And then before we had ever played music together, we booked a show like a month out, and I was like, hey man, we have a show next month. We should probably play music and make sure we actually know how to play music. And then we did, and it was awesome, and now here we are.
Interesting.
Well, hold on. Furthermore, my perspective, this is Keith. My perspective was, what? You booked a show? We've never even fucking played together. And Cody's response was, book shows, ask questions later. And that's been a motto that we've kind of stood by. We continue to write music. We set expectations without having any type of, prediction of what's going to happen, but, kind of follow through because it's what we love to do.
Interesting. I like that approach. It's kind of like when you're super out of shape and you're like, I got to sign up for this marathon so I can just get in. I have to get in shape to run the marathon. So it's like that's how you guys approach gigs. It sounds like.
That was literally my thought process when I started this band. I was like, I want this band to be a thing. I'm just going to book a show, and then we have to be a band because we told someone we are.
Right.
Yeah, and it lucked out. They practiced in Cody and I's basement. Davey and Cody lived together, and so they practiced, and they needed a third instrument, someone to play the bottom half. So I just walked down after like the third song after they practiced. I was like, I'm bored, let's play. So we just plugged in and lied our way through it the rest of the time.
That's so interesting.
Turns out that he's got an amazing voice too, and we're like, oh shit, I said he's got something.
Yeah, that helps. That helps usually when they're good musicians. That helps. Helps their case to join the band. That's so interesting. So, did you guys play covers this first show, or did you like write a bunch of songs real quick? How does that even work?
No, it was like 9 originals. Yeah, it was 9 originals and like 2 covers. We covered We did a Rack and Tour song because we thought it'd be like the coolest, like, modern, but no one listens to this band anymore because they haven't made a record, which they are now. So
a full circle cool cover.
And then we did a Temptations cover. Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and just kind of went for it and tried to have a party. That's the way we take shows, is let's party.
Yeah, we wrote like 9 songs in a month. I mean, we play like half of those still.
We're still playing, yeah. So they just developed even better because it was a thing that it felt right. So those songs still hang out.
Yeah, wait. So you mentioned you're still playing some of them. So like a majority of those songs that you wrote have kind of stuck. Is that, I'm hearing that right?
It's not the fact that they stuck. It was just more like that we enjoyed and we developed them even more. So they definitely stuck around, but we just kind of like deconstructed them and then pulled them back in because we kind of started developing what we wanted to sound like. Because before it was pretty much like a cover set. We kind of just wrote songs of like bands that we liked. We're like, oh, let's rip off this band, let's play some songs. And then we're like, okay, well, that's the tone that we like. Let's keep creating that. So we kept developing the ones, and they don't feel like they were our first songs. They feel just as great as the 2 songs that we put out 2 weeks ago.
Fantastic. Well, perfect segue. Let's talk about it. We got one of those 2 songs here today, a song called Virginia. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. Yeah, Virginia. It's a nod to all the music that we love and appreciate. And we really wanted a fun song, and kind of a funny little in-depth story that hopefully it translates well in the audio, is that when we recorded this, we were having a blast in the studio. I could see Davey could see me. We recorded vocals at the same time as we were seeing our producer in this little 3-window panel, and just jumping and dancing and hooting and hollering, and it was a great time, and we want that to translate over the record. I think it does. Obviously in the video it does.
Yeah, I mean, you guys bring a ton of energy. I can even just tell, having you on this conversation already, you guys are all like, you are having so much fun doing this, and I think it comes out on the music.
You got us. We just practiced for 2 hours. We wanted to get amped up and really have a good time, so we came in because we've got a show this coming week on at Cervantes' other side, and so we just wanted to get amped up. So we just played the set, and we had a lot of fun. Now we get to go back and insult each other because we screwed things up, and it's gonna be fun.
I love it. I love your dynamic. This is so cool, man. Well, let's jump into it. Let's play the song Virginia, and then we'll go from there. So this is a song called Virginia by Bootgun.
Show you something that you never
All right, so that was Virginia by Boot Gun. So how long were you guys playing before you decided to take it into the studio and start recording?
I think 3 days. We just really were like, well, we're going to do this band a lot differently than the bands that we were in before. I mean, we all have played bands in Colorado. I've played bands in Texas. Keith was in bands in Florida. So we've already done bands, and we're like, okay, we're not going to do it the same way we used to. And that's kind of the same thing that we've gone in. We're like, let's get some songs out. Let's make people hear us. And we put in the work, and we made sure that we could do recordings, because that's the only thing that you want, is to hear more and more. People don't want to hear these 2 songs anymore. They want to know what's next. They're like, oh, cool, new songs. What's next? You're like, okay, well, here we go. Let's keep going.
Wow. So, well, let me take a step back, because maybe you mentioned it, but I missed it. When did you officially form? When was that first gig that you mentioned?
First gig was January of last year.
Okay. Awesome. Well,
yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah. I feel like, with music or relationships or anything you're getting yourself into that's going to be, an art form, you have to create like a language with each other. And so that takes time. You can work together musically, but like you have to go out, you have to have drinks together. You have to see the sunrise together. You got to go down to Mexico together and play a gig down there. You got to figure out shit that works. And it works for us. And it took us a kind of a year to finally get the things in motion. And, we're pretty content where we're at. And we feel like this is just the beginning.
Wow. What's the Mexico story? Where'd you guys play in Mexico?
Well, little Keefy baby over here, we had a little bachelor party for him. And we got, we just started the band, and we weren't really expecting to be invited, Cody and I. And so we just were, we were band friends. And then we started hanging out, having a little more fun. And he like sat us down, like, he wanted us to be a part of it. And we were like so honored that, I begged Cody, and Cody bought both plane tickets, was like, pay me back. You fucking are coming. It's like, all right, here we go. So we went to Mexico with all his like best friends, and it was a feeling that like we've all been friends forever. It was a really cool dynamic. And we went to a bar, and there was a cover band, like just blasting away, and we were having a lot of fun. And then we forced our friend to go ask him hey, during your intermission, can these dumb assholes play some rock and roll for a couple minutes? And they said, yeah.
We ended up playing for like 45
Yeah, we played like a quick 45, and burnt it down, and it was fun. So, hopefully there's like, a lore around the rock and roll scene in Mexico. Yeah, we're huge in DJ.
That's so funny. You guys taking the world by storm, one country at a time. So it sounds like you guys have, I mean, obviously you're all friends at this point. You have a lot of fun together. I'm sure your shows are also very high energy. Are there any like fun little things you've added into your set, maybe to like get the crowd involved, or like anything you're willing to share of like something fun you look forward to every time you play a show?
I don't know. He's the lunatic.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of just a wild card, and so we never really know what we're getting in for, and that just keeps it fresh for us. Like, we had this one show last year where he just kind of went off on this rant about, and then started dancing with a mannequin.
Yeah.
So you never really know what exactly we're going to get out of this scenario.
There was a show I walked off stage, a little festival that we played, and I just walked off. And it was during a Van Morrison cover, actually. And I went inside this dive bar next door and took a shot of whiskey during the middle of the set and came out. And, it was like that, the most professional thing to do. No, but it was boot gun, so it worked.
I fucking love it. You guys might be my new favorite band. You guys just seem so cool. I love this shit. This is so awesome. So tell me, out there in Denver, you guys, it sounds like there's a pretty, developed music community. Are there any, guys you've played with, other bands, or artists out there that you really love, that are a little bit under the radar and you think deserve a quick shout out?
Yeah, this whole scene's full of them. Like, all of our friends are making some of the most kick-ass rock and roll that I've been hearing lately. Like,
we could go from
Fuzz and the Velveteers and Slinger and Kinky Fingers and Meeting House and the Bees. Like, Ghost Review.
The Red Pedals. We could keep going if you want. We love these guys. Butterwax is a great group.
Butterwax is cool. Yeah.
Every
Midnight Strange.
Like they're all just up and coming, and it's rad. We're about to take over the world, and I hope people understand that you can go to a show and get all of those tastes in one, and don't expect, we're going to play rock and roll, but it's, if you like music, you're going to enjoy it.
Awesome. All right. So how can people stay in touch with Boot Gun on, things like tour dates? I know you mentioned you had a gig coming up. How can people just stay in touch and talk to you guys?
Sure.
bootgunmusic.com. I'll have everything there. But any social media outlet.
We're all Instagram sluts, so we enjoy that a lot. So
bands in town, if you follow us, you'll get the automatic emails and updates. But yeah, I mean, our website's gonna have everything Boot Gun Music. And if you type in Boot Gun, there's some funny shit that comes up, so it's worth a search. But yeah, Boot Gun Music or Boot Gun Band.
Nice, awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much, guys, for taking the time to hop on and share a little bit of your story. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. There it is.
Thanks, DJ. Appreciate you calling us, my man.
You bet, man. Thanks.